Hey, good morning, guys. It's Goose here, and welcome to STN Stock Talk with Ricky and myself. Doing it a new way this morning. Hopefully, you guys all found yourself in there. So I'm going to go a little bit slower as I race through these things that we go through every morning.
Goose here, welcome to STN.
To make sure everybody joins up. There's a little feedback there. Sorry about that. So just want to remind you guys, now that you're in STN, there's no, spread the word about us. There's no credit card required to be in our free trading floor. You click on the live button. Actually, Friday, I did a little bit of a 1-hour Q&A type thing. So there's a lot of little things that we're trying to add to get people involved and to continue to get our community growing. So hopefully you spread the word about us and keep coming in. Just to remind you guys, Ricky and I are coming up with these ideas every day. Some days we have 3 or 4, some days a couple. Coming back from a long weekend, there's a lot of things I had on scan, so I just picked a couple myself, but none of them are solicitations. Do your own homework. Don't be shy to send us messages within the site asking about what we mean about something, and maybe make it even a little easier now that we're doing it within the site, so you don't have to go to 2 different places. And just read the disclaimer up above that there's no solicitation in this. It's in the description area. We're just here to help you guys out and continue to give back and have some good discussions for the pre-market. So with that being said, I'm going to turn it over to Ricky. Good job getting us over here, Ricky. So let's get going this morning.
Thanks a lot, Goose, and welcome everybody. If you're new to stocktraders.net, we're glad to have you. Make sure you guys contribute, send messages, DM us if you have any questions. Everybody in the community is really knowledgeable. There's a lot of wisdom being shared on a regular basis. So I totally implore you guys to make full use of your resources. All right, so let's just jump right into things. We got a short week ahead of us after the long weekend. So the first thing I'm looking at, guys, is MOMO. It's kind of breaking out. It's on earnings. And let's see. I got to get my charts up. Sorry. And by the way, I am just running all this off my MacBook now that the movers have come and taken my trading rig. But I think we should be able to do this without any more hiccups. So you see the 40 level that we're breaking out of. We got a nice base. There's 2 ways I'm going to look to play it. It's going to be dependent on how we open, if we're going to be on that 5-minute 20, if we're going to be extended. Right now, we're actually pulled back in, which I like. I didn't want to be all the way up at pre-market highs when the bell rang. So I like where we're at now. Let's just see if we can kind of consolidate for a little bit and get an opening setup. And I do like this for a long. And as of right now, first target's going to be those pre-market highs, which are right around 45. Not quite, 44.50-ish. But if something happens from now to the open and we do push up and we're opening extended and up towards highs, I might actually look for a scalp back to the 5-minute 20 short, fade it, and then probably look to get long after that, guys. That's MOMO. The next thing I'm looking at, and the last thing on my list this morning, is TRXC. Now, it's kind of a Ricky tip. They are definitely, we have a lot of history with these guys. You can see this run they had back in late October. Or was it last year? No, kind of mid-October. And things haven't quite changed with them. They're still there's a lot of overhead. There's a lot of dilution that could come into play on this, guys. But let's just tackle the basics on it first. The OS is going to be 204 million shares. The float's about 175 million. They had 87 million of cash at the end of March. They burned about $4 million a month last quarter. Last year, they averaged about $3.3 million burned every month. The overhead looks to be about 12 million warrants with an average exercise price of $1.08. There's also a ton of outstanding options for the employees to exercise. I think about 15 million shares at a $2.32 average price. There's actually a lot more funds holding this, but because the OS is so large, they don't show up as in the beneficial ownership stuff. So if you look at the funds that hold just over 1 million shares, there's about 70 million shares held. So it's possible that the tradable float is going to be closer to 125 million. The way I'm looking at this, though, is a sell the news event. This is a 510K clearance for it's like an extended use for something that was already cleared by the FDA. And so they had it approved for use in 2 different applications. They're now approved to use it in 2 extra applications, but I completely feel like this was expected. It's not a shocker. And I also think that this whole run up going into it was kind of the buy the rumor. And I've seen a few people already kind of like letting it loose, letting the cat out the bag on Twitter or whatever. So let's see if maybe we get a squeeze early and not be the first ones in. But I do think that all those funds that are holding Even though it makes the float a little bit smaller, it also could become a substantial amount of overhead supply if this is indeed a sell the news event. So as of right now, you can see the levels. I think under this 380 level, it's going to trigger a short, but I would like the short pops into 4. You have to pay attention to your daily levels. There's plenty of reason for this thing to hold at 350 if it wants. So I'd like some meat on the bone first, guys. Not going to just short this thing with a very low risk to reward. That's everything for me, guys. I'm going to throw it back to Goose, hear what he's got, and then we'll get our day cracking.
Thanks, man. I really love the idea on the TRXC. I'll be looking to fade that as well. I'm kind of disappointed it's already given up a little bit. But, Ricky's talking about the key levels there, 380, obviously, with pre-market. Let's see how it acts. Maybe you get some crazy push at the open and an opportunity. So I'm still hopeful on that one. I'm going to jump right into ZTO, and I'm going to give you a small bonus one that's a little silly, but I still want to give it to you. But ZTO, this is what I'm thinking about ZTO. They announced a deal this morning regarding Alibaba. And it's pulling back, and this is kind of a typical retrace play for me. I definitely really like the opportunity on this, and what I'm going to be looking for is right in this pocket here. You kind of see pre-market; it was holding this level before it made its next ramp up and cleared. So I want to look in this. I put in there 20-50 area because I want to use 20 as a guide, because I feel like if it comes through 20, then maybe I'm misreading something. But I have a feeling this is going to be strong, a decent day today. I actually talked about it in the pre-market that I'm kind of looking at some opportunities that do a morning pull, even some ones that are already opening up red and gapping down, for them to do a turn and clear today. I think either today or tomorrow we're going to have a nice day in the market. So I'm looking at opportunities from the long side. I do have quite a few shorts listed down, which I also spoke about, and I'll mention before I end my talk here. But ZTO, that's a pocket that I'm looking at. I want to talk about TTD for a second. And this is an interesting one. I've been watching this for quite a while, Trade Desk. And this is what I'm looking at right here, guys. I don't know if you're seeing it. I mean, it's continually holding this 8170 area. And I think everybody's waiting for this break and this big retrace, and it's just not happening. And I've seen so many of these charts where we all are biased. It's got to come in. The market's down. It's got to come in. Listen, if it's not going to crack this morning, I'm telling you, my senses are telling me this thing's going to make a big push. And I really like the action, even how it held, the prior day's lows. This is from, on Friday. You can see the chart start making a little bit of a, higher lows. And yeah, it kind of sold off right at the end, but I'm okay with that. I have TTD on a hard watch today. It's one of my top things. And if it holds here, I think there could be, this has huge range. Now understand two things about this. I want to explain on TTD. If this cracks that 8170, and reclaims it over a 5-minute candle and pops back up above 82, I'm okay with that. But if it wants to stay heavy for a little bit and the market's heavy and all that, then I'll ride that short down and get on the right side of this for some continuation. Last thing I just wanted to mention to you guys, I talked about it this morning. Look for some continuation. I mean, it's already up so much this morning, but OLED, you could see I already had done a retrace. I was looking at this 106 area early on, and it kind of went without me. But what I'm going to look for now is kind of see what kind of retrace levels, if it even wants to give it. I think the stock could be strong all day and be one of those that just keeps going and going and going. Now, if I get a nice morning wash on this thing, there'll definitely be key levels, 108, 110, and things like that I'll look at. I'm hoping, again, heavy market at the open, which it's looking like, and then look for some turns, some clears of some pre-market levels. And that's what I'm going to look for. And OLED is definitely one of them. There are a lot of extended names out there that if the market stays heavy, you want to look for, shorts on, whether it's, Foot Locker or SCVL. I mean, there's plenty of them out there to be looking for backside moves. If they want to give them today, Ralph Lauren. So there's a lot of names out there, guys. Don't stay married to one thing. Let's have a great day today. First day back. Don't have to force the action. I know it's the end of the month. Don't need to force that too if you haven't hit your goals. We have a brand new month starting. That's a great thing about this week. So anyway, guys, I'll leave it at that. Let's have a great day. Thanks for joining us over here. If you guys are new, feel free to send us any messages. If you click our name and hit a direct message, you'll be able to shoot us a message. Titus, myself, Monaco, Ricky, any of us will take a message from you guys and try to get back to you as soon as we can. So see you guys soon, and thanks a lot. Back to you, Ricky.
Thanks a lot, Goose. And as he said, guys, thanks for joining us finally over at StockTraders.net, where we're doing this in-house now. The live stream will be posted to YouTube, but it won't be till later in the afternoon, probably around lunchtime. So if you do like catching these pre-market stock talks with us, make sure that you're here every morning. Be here at 9. We go live at 9:05 every day, 5 days a week, 4 days this week. But you get the picture. Get out there, guys. Protect that capital. Stay safe. Make sure you have a plan. If you don't have a plan, you don't have a trade. Let's get out there and crush it. Peace.